Have you ever left a counseling session feeling nice? You felt heard, you felt understood, the counselor was warm, they nodded in all the right places, and you felt a sense of relief from venting. But then a few months go by, and you realize nothing in your life has actually changed. The same patterns are on repeat, the same anxieties are showing up. You start to wonder, is this working? Or do I just have a very expensive, very empathetic friend? If that question sounds familiar, you've stumbled upon one of the biggest misconceptions about therapy. We're often told to look for empathy in a counselor, and that's absolutely essential. But empathy is just the ticket to the game. It isn't the game itself. The skills that create real, lasting change are often invisible. They're not about warm fuzzies. They're about expert-level architecture happening behind the scenes, in the counselor's mind. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the 5 invisible skills that separate a nice counselor from a truly effective one. Understanding these will empower you, whether you're in therapy or considering it. The first invisible skill is being a pattern spotter. A good counselor does more than just listen to your story from this week. They're listening to your story from this decade. They are collecting dots, looking for the hidden threads that connect how you felt as a child with how you argue with your partner today. It's the ability to hear you talk about your micromanaging boss and recognize the same feeling of powerlessness you described when talking about your overbearing parent. They don't just say, "That sounds tough." They might say, "That feeling of being trapped under someone's control? I'm curious, where else in your life have you felt that?" They connect the constellations of your life into a map you can finally read. The second skill is being an emotional cartographer. Empathy is feeling with you. This is different. This is about helping you map the emotional landscape inside your own body. Many of us live completely in our heads, describing our anxiety or sadness as abstract thoughts. An effective counselor brings it into the physical. They'll ask questions like, when you feel that anxiety, where is it in your body? Is it a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach? This is rooted in the growing understanding of somatic, or body-based therapies. It shifts the goal from thinking your way out of a feeling to learning how to regulate your nervous system. It's the difference between talking about a storm and learning how to anchor your ship. Third, and this is increasingly critical, is being a cultural navigator. This isn't just about race or ethnicity. It's about understanding that every single person comes from a unique culture. The culture of their family, their workplace, their generation, their identity. Advice that works for one person might be completely useless for another because their cultural contexts are different. In fact, recent data shows that over 70% of employers hiring new counselors now emphasize advanced cultural skills. Why? Because a counselor who doesn't understand your world can't help you navigate it. They might pathologize something that's normal in your culture, or offer solutions that aren't realistic for your life. This skill ensures the therapy is relevant to you. The fourth invisible skill is being a boundary architect. This is the unseen framework that makes therapy safe. It's the counselor's commitment to ethical guidelines, to confidentiality, to starting and ending sessions on time. It sounds simple, but this structure is what creates a reliable space where you can be vulnerable. This also includes their ability to maintain their own emotional boundaries, so they don't get overwhelmed by your story and can remain an objective, helpful guide. A counselor who overshares, gets easily flustered, or seems disorganized is like an architect building a house on a shaky foundation. The structure won't feel safe enough for real work to get done. And finally, the fifth and perhaps most important skill, being a gentle challenger. A friend's job is to validate you and agree that the other person was wrong. A counselor's job is to validate your feelings and then gently challenge the patterns that are keeping you stuck. They comfort the victim in you, but they speak to the survivor. This is the skill that actually creates change. It's the moment the counselor says, "I hear how hurt you are by what they did, and I'm wondering what part you might have played in this dynamic." Or, "We've talked about this boundary for a few weeks. What's one tiny step you could take to enforce it this week?" It can feel uncomfortable, but it's the discomfort of growth, not of being shamed. So, pattern spotter, emotional cartographer, cultural navigator, boundary architect, and gentle challenger. These are the skills working beneath the surface of a simple, empathetic conversation. So, what can you do with this information? Here are a few practical things to look for, or even ask about in your own therapy. First, try shifting from just storytelling to asking how. After you've shared a problem, ask your counselor, how can I approach this differently? Or what's a skill I can practice that relates to this? This simple question can shift a session from a venting hour to a working hour. An effective therapist will welcome this and have ideas ready. Second, notice the balance of the conversation. Over a few sessions, does the focus stay entirely on the problem and how bad it feels? Or does it naturally move toward understanding the pattern, building your skills, and exploring solutions? Good therapy holds space for the pain, but it's always gently moving you toward healing and growth. Finally, remember that finding the right counselor is a process. It's okay to ask questions about their approach. It's okay to decide someone isn't the right fit, even if they're a very nice person. You are investing your time, money, and vulnerability. You deserve a partner in your healing who has the full toolkit, not just a warm smile. This work is courageous. Simply by watching this, you're taking an active role in your own well-being. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more content that helps demystify mental health. In our next video, we'll talk about the difficult but sometimes necessary process of how to know when it's time to move on from your therapist.